Heck yeah, I'm ready. Welcome to GFBS. We're Grand Forks' best source on a doity Thursday. I'm John Roberts, along with the bullring boy Chad Hoff in the studio today. Brian and Dustin Strand. I've been so psyched up for this show. Show today, by the way, brought to you by Pure Mist. You know, if you want continuous protection to any indoor space, contact Pure Mist Total Indoor Environment Protection. Their multifaceted process uses advanced technologies to destroy contaminants in the air and on surfaces. Pure Mist can protect homes, businesses, classrooms, clinics, fitness clubs, retail stores, hotels, childcare centers, podcast studios, race shops, and more. Yeah, you know, this is the apex of indoor environment protection, destroying surfaces and airborne microbes, including viruses, bacteria, mold, fungi, allergens, and odors. And you bet you didn't know this, ActivePure is an FDA-tested and approved technology to reduce and eliminate SARS and CoV-2. That's the virus that causes COVID-19. You know what? Our studio is now protected by Pure Mist. Shouldn't you protect yourself, too? Call Chad at 763-229-7969 or go to puremistcode.com. Protection of every second of every day, 365 days a year. Pure Mist Total Indoor Environment Protection. Clean spaces, healthy people. Well, if you have any questions for Brian or Dustin or Chad Hoff or myself, feel free to call or text our phone number here at GFBS, 701-213-0863. That's 213-0863. Time now for our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Here we go. Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Did you hear about the farmer who used his stimulus check to buy baby chickens? Did you hear about the farmer that used his stimulus check to buy baby chickens?
You got me on my edge of my seat here, John.
Yeah. He got his money for nothing and his chicks for free. That was all right, wasn't it?
Hey, I like
money
that.
for nothing.
That's a good one.
All right.
Way to think out that one. That was a good one. Yeah.
I'll thank my neighbor for that one. Brian and Dustin Strand, welcome to the studio, boys. How are you?
Doing good.
Good. Dustin, you're a veteran of the show. About time you drugged the old man with.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get him on. We've been doing kind of a Hall of Fame thing here the last couple of weeks. And Dustin, I'm going to ask both of you guys a few of the same questions. But first off, Brian, what do you do with your time? What do you do during the day on a regular day, not in the winter?
Not in the winter. Well, it varies. Usually fixing in the morning and try to get farm work done in the afternoon and evening.
Okay, so you're a farmer. And where do you live?
Brockett.
Okay, Brockett. And that's where?
10 miles north of Lakota.
Okay. Why am I getting Bemidji in here somewhere?
Well, we were there for 15 or 18 years or whatever it was.
Okay. So you do not live in Bemidji?
Nope.
Okay. What do you mostly farm?
Wheat and soybeans.
Yeah. Good year this year?
Yeah, it was good average.
Yeah. I heard soybeans are up a little bit, though. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Good. And Dustin, what do you do besides build badass race cars?
I think I just run every direction some days.
Well, I mean, you've got a growing family. Well, they're growing. I don't know if you're going to add to that growing family or not, but what do you got? A couple of daughters?
Yeah, 2 little girls, yep.
Yeah, and you're lucky enough to get to work with the wife in the same building?
Yeah, well, there's a door in between us, so when she gets sick of me, she just locks it, then she doesn't have to deal with me, but...
That's perfect.
Yeah, do you have a key?
No, she don't give me
Really?
a key.
Do you stick your hand underneath there and be like, hey, can you still see me?
Yeah.
I love you.
It's like my damn cat does when I'm trying to sit down and read the paper, you know?
On the crapper. He's under there. He's like, hey.
Open the door. Just open the door so I can look in, and then you can close it again, and then they're good.
You can see Dust outside the door.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Jeez.
It's time for food.
Yeah, and speaking of cats, by the way, I don't know if you saw it on Facebook or not, but I put the post out there. My neighbor's missing their German Shepherd, beautiful dog, purebred dog named Grizzly. We live out on Business 2 and Highway 2 there.
Right.
And so if anybody happens to see him, he might have got across the river on the ice. Feel free to call us here at the studio or get a hold of me.
I understand, very nice German Shepherds. Don't be afraid to go up to it, right?
No.
You can call it.
Perfect dog. His name is Grizzly, so keep
There
your
you
eyes
go.
open.
Let's help out, people.
Yeah. First question now as we get rolling. Brian, when did you start racing?
I believe it was 79.
And what got you into it?
I had an uncle that went to the races every week, and when we'd come up, at that time we were living in Minneapolis, we'd come up during the summer. We'd go to the races with him and just took good interest to it.
Yeah. What class did you race at first?
I think they called it a street stock.
Mm-hmm. How many years did you run that car? Or did it last more than a year?
Yeah, I ran that class a couple of years, and then they come up with a new rule and made it, I don't know if they called them late models then or not, but then they figured out that a 4,000-pound car couldn't keep up very good, so they let me finish that year back in the streets, and then had a late model after that.
Mm-hmm. How many years did you race a late model? Because, I mean, it's funny. How many years have you been out of racing first, I should ask?
Oh, God. Dustin could probably answer that better than me, but it's got to be 12 years or maybe more. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, probably roughly.
Yeah. And you ran the late model the rest of your career then?
Well, I think I probably ran a modified more than a late model, but I raced late models steady there for a while. And then when we started building our own cars in the 80s, late 80s, then I started racing modifieds because I figured if I'm building them, I better be racing them. So then I'd switch back and forth and go have some fun once in a while. But
yeah, whatever made you decide to start building race cars?
Well, I was selling other people's stuff, and every one of them I had to fix something on. Like, I sold a lot of one guy's cars, and the seats never fit. He never did fix the problem. I was the only one having that problem, evidently. And then the last one I got from him, he only welded about half of it.
Oh, boy.
So I sent him a bill for welding the chassis up, and he paid it, and that was the last one I sold. After that, I started building my own.
That's when you looked at it like, gosh, I could just do this myself and just save this.
Yeah.
I mean, and then how'd the word get out after that? Everything else started ballooning from that.
Yeah, I started building I never really, when we built our first jig, I just started building a modified, I think it was then. And then when Brad wanted a super stock, we didn't have a jig for that. We just built his car and built a jig right with it. And it was kind of an experimental deal. And I don't know, that thing didn't die till about 2-3 years ago. It went through, I don't know how many owners. Brad won the national championship with it. And it was pretty cool.
I mean, that's got to be pretty neat when a car you build wins national championship.
Yeah, I think we've won it, I don't know, it's close to 10 times now out of our shop. Huh?
That's crazy. And then you just kind of took over? Is that how that works?
Well, I kind of started racing, and we were both racing for a while, but I think he kind of knew in the back of his head when I started racing full-time, we really couldn't afford to both do it. And so that's why we kind of I've been driving, I guess, but he's just as big a part of it as I am.
What's the deal with the big Wild West shootout? I just saw something on social media that had your name plastered all over it.
Well, yeah, he won it last year.
Well, I know that, but I mean, coming up to this year, you're on like the poster or something? Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah, they had the 4 champions from last year on this year's poster, yeah.
I mean, you act like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
That.
You see, I just told him, when I see it, I'm like, I know that guy. Yeah. Like, wait a second.
That's a pretty sweet deal. Actually, we've been kind of worried as things progress with all this virus stuff, if things are going to get canceled. We've been preparing to go, and how do you really know what's going down? But it sounds like, I think as far as they're concerned, they're doing it unless a higher power.
Yeah, and when is that?
It's be like the 7th of January it starts, so it's coming up in a hurry.
Okay, so how much work do you have left to do before you're ready to go over there?
A lot.
I
just kind of had a little panic attack this morning, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, our own car doesn't need a lot of work. We probably need about a day to just finish things on that. But I got a lot of customer cars we need to get done. We got 4 or 5 to letter and 3 or 4 yet rebuilds to do. And so, I was thinking this morning, we really only have about a week and a half, and then it's Christmas, and then I'm gone for my wife's family Christmas for a week. So basically, we got a week and a half to do a month's worth of work in. So
and then you got Roberts calling you, going, "Where the hell are you?"
Yeah.
Oh, you said 11:45. Oops, my bad.
We probably could have just zoomed him in from his shop as he's working on stuff. Hey, Dustin, one more question for you. I got
Now I want to imagine, because Brian, you come up and work in the shop a lot over the winter. You probably maybe wish you had 2 dads right about now.
Yeah.
4 arms instead of 2. When you talk about building your own car, Big news now in the world of outlaw late models. Ricky Weiss, he's going to start building his own car. Do you know anything about that?
No, probably just what you did. I just saw that post they had on there or whatever.
I mean,
that's big news.
It is. I mean, because he got in with Bloomquist, and everybody thought, wow, now, that's something because Bloomer, I mean, everybody knows him. But, I mean, Ricky had another great year. I would think, that'd be a pretty big jump when you're on a platform like that to say, okay, we're going to build our own cars now. And I just wonder how that's going to work. What do you think?
It's tough to say. I mean, he did so well before, but then again, we got two guys in the shop in the studio right now that build their own cars, and look what they've done. 10 national championships. I mean, you got Dustin's poster, freaking name plaster everywhere. I mean, we got local legends right in front of us that've done this. I would say Ricky has a good shot about it. He's been doing it enough. He should be interesting to see. But he ran for Rookie of the Year in World of Outlaws. He did that, and he was running pretty good last year for points wise.
I think he finished second this year,
second or third. But now it's a total reset, right? I mean, when you're doing your own chassis, that's a whole nother ball game.
A lot of things to think about,
right? Yeah, it's the one good thing I think he's probably got going for him, and I think Dustin, if Dustin had his own time just to worry about his chassis, it'd be way better for him. But when he's got
10 other guys pounding on his doors
behind him, like, hey, I need letters, I need this done, I need a new bumper, so I think he'll be okay. I think he will. I think if he should use his resources right, there's plenty of people he could reach out to that he's raced with before that would help.
Well, I just wonder if his shop, his building shop or his fabrication shop, that's going to be up in Headingley or if that's going to be in the United States. I'm guessing probably down south somewhere.
Did you see Kennedy's post on there? Did you guys see Kennedy's post on Facebook where he wants to move everything to the States and hide out for a little while and race and then go back whenever he can? I mean, it's COVID bullshit. Don't even get me started on that.
No.
It's just, I don't know. I'm interested, John. I think it'd be cool. I think it's going to be really cool for him to try it. And if it succeeds, then we're going to see what happens.
Yeah.
It's going to build from that.
When we talk about the Canadian racers and especially the race fans too, I talked with Bill Mooney for quite a while yesterday, and I noticed he's got a lot of his stuff up for sale because he said, let's face it, he goes, you know what? A lot of people think when you're not racing, you're saving money, which I get, but he also says you're losing money, because a lot of his sponsors are here in the United States. And so right now he said, since we have no idea what's going on, put my stuff up for sale. If it sells and things change, well, then I'm going to have to go to plan B, but I don't know what that really is right now. But this is the last thing I wanted to see was these guys that we missed all last year because they're fun. I'm sure they're fun to race against. But between the drivers from Canada and the fans from Canada, I mean, I miss walking through Little Canada. I miss the food. I miss the beer. I miss it all.
I miss you too. And it's on there.
And I'm glad that that they are all still at least watching the show. Brian, when did you get inducted into the River City Hall of Fame?
He looks back to Dustin.
And I keep looking at Dustin.
No more.
Time kind of goes by with me, but it seems like it was like 3 years ago probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, was I the one that was down there talking?
I
don't even remember.
I think so because Bill Mooney was there, or not
Pat
Bill.
Mooney.
Pat Mooney,
Mooney, but I think he was just there because when he got inducted, he asked me to be up there with him, and I don't know. Pat might have talked too, but I'm sure you were there.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Pat Mooney. I consider myself a pretty good announcer.
Right.
I think he's the best dirt track announcer ever.
I
really, really do.
Was it 2 years ago to where he came and said, because he was filling in and then I filled in, and then 2 years ago he was like, yeah, this kid, he can do it. Let Chad take over. And I'm like, holy crap. Pat said that. That's pretty cool as an announcer.
And apparently he told, I can't remember if it was me or management, but he said, I got nothing for those guys. So, I mean, that's like a little pat on the back for us.
I guess we're doing something.
I mean, we can toot our horn once in a while.
Amen to that.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break here. Brian and Dustin Strand in the studio, along with Bullring Boy Chad Hoff. Bullring Boy. You know what? I got a text from an Executive Properties customer, and this is what she said. I called Executive Properties in desperation for an egress window installed in Minto before winter. We had contacted several other companies. We're told they would come over in the summer, but then they must have forgot about us. Executive Properties agreed to the project. They gave us instructions on what to do before they arrived. They first drove up to lay down a blanket to warm up the ground. They came back, completed the job quickly, did a great job cleaning up afterwards, which I greatly appreciated. They stuck around and gave us some helpful hints and ideas as we are remodeling our basement. They later emailed and texted me to make sure we were happy with the finished project. Said I could call back if I have any other remodeling questions. Very kind, reliable, competitively priced. I'd also like to add that they were careful and did not damage the yard or landscaping. Now, this is what Executive Properties does all the time. I tell you what, call 701-330-1273 or go to executiveproperties.org. What are you giggling at over there?
Oh, we're looking at everybody commenting here, and I showed them over there. Kevin Pappas was, if I'm right, I think Brian ran out of gas in his first feature. Someone forgot to put fuel in, and I think he was leading. And I look over at him, and he's reading, and he's like, I don't know. I don't remember. Once again, he looks at Dustin. Dustin? No? No, I don't know.
For some reason, my phone is not working here, so I'm not seeing these. I remember Brian and Dale Skitlin always racing hard with each other.
There you go.
Oh, Brian Stouse. Yeah. What's your most memorable race ever, Brian? Do you know? Do you remember?
Well, I remember one of the first times Dustin raced the late model. It was pretty cool because we were at Jamestown, and I don't think that was the first time, but we were in the same heat, and I don't remember. Oh yeah, you started on the front row that time. And anyway, we had to get going here, so I went flying by him, and he said, "Jeez, that guy cut me off." Here it was me. He said.
You ever return the favor?
Yeah, well, we didn't really get to race against each other a whole lot, but there's probably been, I don't know, 8-10 times we have over the years or whatever. But
That's pretty cool.
The A-mod deal in 8 I can remember too. I was leading and no, I don't think I was leading. I was probably running about third. I could see the leader, and I saw some guys wrecking lap cars, so I kind of got out of the throttle, and he went flying by me. He had to have 40 miles an hour on me. I was thinking, where are you going, kid?
Yeah.
And the wreck had already
That's
happened.
Hilarious.
So then they charged him with the wreck and put him to the back.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You know, we had Tommy and Blake Eglin on the show here a couple of weeks ago, and I asked Tom most memorable favorite moment ever on the track, and he said it was when Blake won. It's gotta be pretty proud to watch what Dustin has done because, I mean, let's face it, he's no slouch. No matter where he goes, the guy knows how to win. But how cool is it to think, well, he followed my footsteps and he's continuing on. But there's got to be a lot of pride because I know I've seen you with an awfully big grin on your face many a night in the pits at River City Speedway.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, if he followed my footsteps, I think he took off and left me. But, yeah, it's pretty cool to see it. One end, it's really nice. The other end, when I see what goes on, sometimes it's tough. You know? Whatever. You got to take the good with the bad.
Yep. Do you have any idea how many features you won in your career?
No, I don't know for sure. For sure. You know, a lot of stuff wasn't tracked then, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you keep track, Dustin, of your wins?
Well, I kind of did have a somewhat close total, but I honestly don't remember what that number is. I think it's close to 300. But
wow. That is just crazy. I mean, I know guys that have been doing this for 25 years and have only got, maybe 1, 2, or 3 feature wins, and they just keep plugging away at it. After the first win, did it get any easier for you?
So I don't know if it's I don't know if you would ever say it would be easy.
Mm-hmm. I know the excitement's probably still the same because he's always pumped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. I love every part about it, but yeah, every win is awesome.
Well, the first win he ever got, he didn't get.
Huh?
Yeah, he started last in the street stock race, and we had an old 4-door Impala that was a pure stock, and he passed everybody and won the deal, and they interviewed him for 20 minutes, so he kind of lost his train of thought, I suppose. And
he didn't weigh.
Forgot to go to the scale, and the tech guy followed him to the trailer and waited till he stepped out instead of telling him to go to the scale.
Yeah.
And anyway, so they took that one away from him.
Yeah, every time I go and I finish with Dust or whoever, it's always, don't forget to scale, guys. Don't forget to scale.
Yeah.
We just had awesome emotion. It really be horrible if you go and you forget to scale. Hey, you always, I got you. Yep, I got you. Yeah,
You got
no problem.
The winner with an asterisk at the end.
Yeah, winner with an asterisk. The one thing you say about Dustin, too, even when bad luck hits, you're always still smiling. I mean, it's racing. You'll go talk to him walking. Hey, it's racing. You know, at the Johnny, he was leading 2 years ago, and we go in, and all of a sudden I'm looking around, I'm watching, and where's the 71 car? Oh, it was behind me. And you get out and you look, and I'm like, what happened? He goes, I don't know, I lost something. I don't know what happened then, but you're just, it's racing. There's next year. So how do you get that mentality to make sure to wash that off like that so easy like you do?
I don't know if I always do, but there's something I just
when I see you anyway.
Yeah.
Now I got a text here. The Strand crew has always been willing to visit at the track. Always a great crew to visit with. Thanks, Joshua. Does that enter your mind when something bad happens, knowing that there's going to be a ton of kids coming in to talk to you after the racetrack or after the races are done? And we know how you guys are at the end of the night, whether it's a good night or a bad night. But do you ever think about those kind of things, thinking, look, couldn't have had the worst luck, especially when you talk about the Johnny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much common knowledge. You don't have very good luck on that 3-day race. But do you ever think about that, thinking, okay, just shake it off, because I got to go be someone that these kids are going to look up to here in a couple of minutes?
Yeah, and it's probably more prominent now that I have little kids at home, too. You probably think about that more now than I used to, but yeah, for sure.
He has a coach at home that tells him that once in a while.
Once in a while? Once in a while?
Reset, calm down.
Yeah.
And then Cadence usually reminds me the next morning, we're having breakfast, and Dad, you didn't win last night. You broke your car.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks.
Yes, I know.
Brian, Dustin car is still the best looking paint scheme. Leave it up to Dave Adams. Build a sprint car.
Yeah.
You ever think about dabbling in a sprint car?
Well, there's been a couple times where, we had an opportunity to maybe hot lap a car or whatever. Actually, one time I was going to hot lap, I believe it was Nygaard's car, and my head stuck out the cage, so that didn't work. But my wife told me if she ever found out that I was in a sprint car, she'd come walk out on the track and pull me out of it. So,
really? Yeah. She's kind of scared about the sprint cars?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, got a lot more steel and metal around you in a late model.
That's a whole different animal.
I've worked on a few sprint cars, and there's not a lot of for looks compared to like the cage we have on us. There's not a lot there to.
No, and what gets me is the drive shaft right between your legs. Yeah. That always makes me a little nervous.
That gives you a whole nother definition of pucker factor right there. I mean, that's a whole nother problem.
I mean, I wonder, do sprint car drivers wear a nut cup like you would playing hockey?
You'd almost.
I don't think it would do you a whole lot of good.
Getting a bearing to the giblets would be a pretty changing theory.
Ooh.
Oh gosh, what was I doing? Okay,
I got hit in
Brian and
I got hit in the giblets by a shaft.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound good either.
Nope. I'm not even going to try it now.
All right. Brian, do you have one race in particular that you would consider your biggest win ever?
Well, one that sticks in my mind was they had a 5,000 to win modified race at Jamestown. It was called the Coca-Cola Classic or whatever. And we had trouble to begin with, and I think I started in the back of that and won that deal. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And that's the one that sticks out in your mind?
Yeah, well, there's several, I don't know, probably the funnest one I had was the last, or second or third to the last time I raced a modified. Greenbush had just put new dirt on the track. Mm-hmm. And we happened to have an extra modified laying there, so we took two modifieds to Greenbush and ended up finishing first and second. So that was pretty sweet.
I bet you that'd be kind of cool because
that is pretty cool.
Who's that old guy over there?
Right.
That's Brian Strand. Who?
Well, I thought I had a chance at winning tonight, but I guess it's over now.
Is he related to Dustin?
Yeah.
We had one of the Canadian guys got between us there towards the end on a restart, and Dustin went in the corner. It was pretty rough. Mm-hmm. A lot of wheelie action going on, and he went into the corner, dropped the right rear off the track, and I seen him left front in the air about 4 feet, and I thought, oh boy. Well, about that time that this guy what's his name? I can't even remember the number one car there.
Delane?
Yeah, he put a slide job on me and got ahead of me, and I just drove back under him.
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards, he told Dustin, geez, I got in the corner, and your old man, he's all wheelied up, and then I get up there, and you're off the track. And I said, one place you don't want to be is between us.
Yeah.
When you look at, when you started building cars and the technology advancement from then to now, what goes through your mind? Could you have done what you've done back then today?
No.
I mean, look at just how much have changed just in your eyes.
Yeah, there was a lot of homemade stuff going on when we raced way back, And,
right.
Tommy was one that had some pretty nice stuff. He knew what to get or had connections or whatever. But there was a lot of stuff where my dad was a machinist, of course,
right,
and so there was hardly any new stuff. But you'd make something in the shop or whatever.
A couple of more texts here. Jason, I was there. So cool. And by the way, Wade did text and say, you drive mine, I'll drive yours, with a question mark. Joshua, I still remember a show at Ada several years ago where Dustin was in some sort of incident early in the feature. Came from the back, and on his way to the win, covered grandstands were louder than the cars, as 50% of the fans were rooting for Dustin and 50% were booing him. It was awesome. That's the thing, though. When you start winning races, they either love you or hate you, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And you know what? If they're going to boo you because you're a winner, so what?
So be it. Obviously, they have a bigger problem about it than anybody else.
No kidding.
I see a lot more orange shirts in the crowd, though, than I see haters. You see that every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
As a race car driver, you probably sit there and you think, if he's running late to an event or something, like, oh, this could be a pretty good field. All right, late models are showing up. Oh, crap, there's a 71. Well, there we go. Okay, well, they got to try really hard tonight to do something good, And you had one of those races, Brody Troftgruben won this last year in Devil's Lake, and you were right there with him too. How cool is that for you as a driver, now a veteran, to have one guy, what do you say to a guy like Brody to get his first win at Devil's Lake? How do you approach him?
Yeah, he was really excited. We were happy for him too. We've been kind of helping him out, steer him in the right direction, and he's been improving a lot, especially this last year. And he does a good job.
Yeah, their whole family's just been super to us,
right?
Like the Hunter family and whatever. I mean, it's just we're all kind of a big crew there,
The race family's strong right there in those two families. That's awesome, you guys. I mean, that's just it's pretty cool.
But,
well, yeah, there's so much more. I mean, you look at his Facebook post for Millenium Chassis, and you guys are selling the cars now, and you guys, you're dabbling in the wraps now, and I got to see a sneak peek of a wrap that you're doing, and I'm all pumped up for everything that's coming out. And when you look at this next couple months, and then when the whole thing came out now that Bristol's going to have a dirt track race, what goes through your head if they have late models at Bristol Motor Speedway on dirt?
Well, we probably wouldn't go there with a late model. We don't really have the right, for sure don't have a motor to run that deal, unless somebody comes up with some horsepower maybe. But, if it was a modified deal, that's a long ways from home, but it would be really awesome to do. They did that 20 years ago. It was an invite-only deal.
Right.
And they invited like 40 guys, and Dad was one of them that got invited.
Heck yeah.
And he didn't go because didn't have the funding to do it,
Right.
But definitely would be cool to do it.
Right. Oh, yeah. I think for sure when the Wild West shootout there, your name is going to be involved somewhere.
Yeah. And then you start to get known nationwide. That's the cool thing, too.
100%.
Hands down, Brian, one of the best in the business in the national championship, 171. I didn't do my homework. You were a national champion?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Twice.
Twice. Yeah. Twice.
Not
What's your biggest moment?
Not a
Talk
big
about
deal.
being a national champion. How freaking cool is that?
Well, I won it twice in the modifieds, and I was second one year in the late model. And they take your best 30, and that was my 30th night. And I broke the drive shaft at Aberdeen. So if that wouldn't have happened, we probably would have got that one too. But, Dustin winning the championship was probably superior to mine. That was kind of a goal of mine. And, anybody that wins one in one of our cars is like totally awesome.
Yeah, and to do it as a father and son, that is pretty crazy. When we were talking about your paint scheme, it'd been very much the same throughout the years, at least from what I can remember. We call the Strand section the pumpkin patch in the stands. But we were just talking about, you mentioned Tommy. Tom Corcoran says, still using the Strand repair bead breaker that I bought back in the 80s. Damn, we're getting old. Tom was on the show last week, and love having him in the studios. Brian, been a couple of years since you've been in a race car. I mean, when you look at you, when you talk to you, have a beer with you or whatever, you would never know that you're a retired race car driver. I know dang well you could get back in a car this summer and still be up there and probably be talking to Chad in Victory Lane. But you ever get that itch anymore, or are you pretty happy with what you're doing now?
You know, there's times about every third day I do, but then usually by the time I go to bed, I forget about it. You're
amazing. You forget about it.
Well, I realize that probably ain't it, you know.
If you have an extra car laying around, like has happened, would you think about it again?
Yeah. You know, in my mind right now, I plan on racing a little bit this winter, maybe just to screw around at an IMCA race or something.
There you go. Go down to Kokopah, wherever they have down there, and check it out and see how things go.
I might have to steal a car from somebody, and they don't know about it yet.
But don't worry, guys. It'll be fully repaired when you get it back. Yeah, there's no worries.
Glad Kevin Pappenfuss is watching. He said it doesn't matter where you sit in the stands. You always have 20 people with Strand shirts sitting around you.
Yes.
That's got to be pretty cool when you hear this stuff. Mm-hmm. And not to mention, it helps when you can sell some merchandise.
Right.
How many shirts do you think you go through in a season?
Jesus, last year we sold quite a few. I don't even know. I know when I got the bill for ordering that order of shirts, about fell over. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, even that shirt deal, if a guy could sell all of them, you know, you'd do okay. But usually half of them get given away and half get sold. So you hope you can get close to break even on the deal.
Yeah. So this might be a dumb question, but I'm sure your chassis company is on the shirts somewhere on the car. Can't that be kind of a write-off for advertising?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is ways to do it, where you got to be one step ahead, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Always trying to figure out taxes.
You have to have stuff to write off.
Yeah. Okay.
That helps too.
Yeah. How many of your race cars were on the track last year?
Oh.
Geez, you know, I don't even know that number, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm. Finding more and more people, though, are buying those modifieds. And it's a fact. They're the ones that are up at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it seems like. The few tracks I've gone to, and boy, the chassis is just getting better and better. Are you finding out more people now are changing and going with you guys?
Well, some. I mean, we've never really been we don't mass produce cars as far as just building a frame, throw it out the door. You know, some guys want to buy a car like that, but we kind of, when a new car leaves our shop, well, any car for that matter, it's pretty much about race ready when it leaves here. So, I mean, we want everything to be right, too.
Right.
You know, so.
And I think after the fact, the service part of it, too, I think is where Dustin shines the most.
Yeah.
I mean, if a driver has a problem, he can go probably talk to Dustin, just knock some ideas off probably at the racetrack. Or he's even said before, he'll probably want to get in and just, I want to feel what you're feeling. Let's diagnose this thing. So it doesn't stop at one. Those mass producers, I don't think you're going to get that kind of service.
Yeah, well, you know, if it's like an assembly line thing, things do go wrong once in a while.
Yeah, the last thing you want is a recall.
Yeah, especially in a race car. Now, do you find it hard, Dustin, being at the track, trying to focus on your own night, your own car, or cars, depending on what you're running that night, and you have these people coming up to you with their problems? Does that tend to get you away from what you're thinking and what you're trying to accomplish? Or as being a chassis builder, a car builder, no matter what, you take the time to go say, well, let's go take a look? Or do you ever have to just go, you're going to have to catch me later, man. Can't you see my car looks like an accordion. I got stuff to do here.
I love you, but give me like 20 minutes here.
Yeah.
You know, we're fortunate. Usually Dad's there, and Timmy and Nate are usually always there. So, but, you know, unless it's a major problem we're having with our car, we try to make time to keep everybody going, you know. But yeah, there's times when you get overwhelmed and you just don't know which way to go, you know?
So if I was to call you guys and say, look, I'm thinking about running a B-Mod. I want a brand new car. How long is it going to take me to get one?
Well, it all depends on, like you say, when or, you know, what we got for orders going right now, whatever.
Right.
But usually probably around a month to build a car.
Yep.
Complete.
So if I would be third in line, say you've got 3 cars to build in front of me, does money talk? Could I get bumped? I'm not talking about getting into racing here.
That's perfect. I love that answer.
What do you enjoy more, Brian, building or racing? I suppose there's a satisfaction in both. But.
Yeah. You know, I guess where we're at right now, the building part of it's pretty important to us. And, the weekly upkeep, I think, for people is their biggest thing.
Yeah. Because, you know, if you want to be keep visiting Victory Lane, there's things you have to do every week.
Yeah.
You know, everybody that's wins on a regular basis, ask them about their week when they're not at the racetrack. They don't you don't just pull the car out of the trailer, wash it up, and put it back in. There's a lot of things. Maintenance. Just for example, let's say, what do you do on a regular week for your late model? When you get home on Friday night, tell us about the rest of the week. And that's if you're not racing anywhere else.
Yeah, well, the car's got to get cleaned up, first of all, and that's more than just washing the outside. You know, there's a lot of... It's amazing how long it takes to clean a car up, too. I mean,
pressure washer out.
We had a nice day here, and I hadn't got it cleaned up even from Jamestown, so I figured we better get it out and do it. I mean, it's a 2.5-hour deal to get it out, jacked up, wheels off, and clean it. I mean, to do it right, you know.
Yeah.
I hate working on greasy stuff. So.
Yeah, right. And, you know, you want to keep your sponsors happy, so these things got to be cleaned up. I'm having problems with my phone. Chad, could you scroll down again? Because we've got a couple of more texts here. And they're good ones. Let's see. Okay, there you go. Hey, Brian, there's a possible $25,000 to win IMCA Modified Tour in Princeton and Brainerd in June with your name on it. My pick is the Brocket Rocket. And Jason says, ask him who his arch nemesis is at the Grand Forks Speedway.
I don't know if I have an arch nemesis.
Anybody you ever butt heads with? I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
It's part of racing.
Yeah, it's just every once in a while you have a night where things don't go right. But you know, one thing we got the late model deal. They actually got a pretty dang good group of guys that you know you have an issue and half hour after the race we're having a beer together. You know, so that's what I enjoy.
Brian, did you ever have anybody that you would not park your hauler next to in the pits?
Oh,
you don't have to name names, but I just want to know a yes or no.
Oh, I'm sure he says.
And then what town they're from and what number they were.
Well, there's always that, you know. I mean, from week to week, things change, but seemed like there used to be a lot of, you know, maybe years ago where somebody'd get mad at you and it'd last forever. You know? And I don't know, you don't hear that anymore that much, you know.
Couple of more texts here I want to read out. This is from Austin Hunter, and we miss him at the Speedway, no doubt about it. But and we knew this, but Dustin and Brian have helped my racing career so much with their guidance and knowledge. Couldn't be more happy to be part of their racing family. Mark says Brian's Grand Am bodied late model was probably his coolest car. You remember that car? Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was. That was probably one of the only new cars I had till we started building our own. Well, I guess, I don't know, did I ever have a new car that we built ourselves? I think kind of a hand-me-down deal, but that's fine. But that car there, Mike Fagers built the frame for me, and it was a killer.
How many years did you race that one?
You know, back then you always thought you needed something different. You know, I probably should have raced it 10 years, but I think I raced it probably 2 summers.
Now, say if you're driving a brand new car, whether it be an A-mod or a late model, say you got a brand new car, how long do you hope to drive that car? Or will you give it however many seasons and then sell it? Now, you know, we could talk about updates and all of that kind of stuff, but what do you hope to get out of one of your cars?
Well, I guess we don't really have a set time that say we'll run this car this long.
As long as it's still winning, you're going to run it.
I mean, these cars, the way we build them, there's maybe more tubing than there needs to be, but we're kind of built to last rather than to be good for 20 nights. You know what I mean?
Right.
How many years did Kevin Sexton drive that modified?
I don't know, but I think he figured he had over 200 wins on that car.
Yeah.
didn't he think?
On a
But it was
one
lot
car.
of
Yeah,
years.
On a one car.
Holy,
I think
on a
he won
mod?
100 features, I thought he said,
Okay.
or it was just about there.
Holy
Out of
smokes.
one car. And then you see these guys running two cars, probably 2-3 years, like, I want a new one. You know? That's
But yeah,
that's
no,
pretty
like,
crazy.
I'm not scared to have a 5, 6, 8-year-old car that wouldn't be competitive. I mean,
right.
Sure.
Oh, for sure.
Now, when you see, a car had the 2020 updates, whatever, explain what these updates might consist of.
Well, that could be a lot of different things. I mean, there might be a geometry change we find in the front end, or in the back end, trailing length, angles, lengths, shock mount locations. I mean, it can be a lot of different things, even just the way the car flexes, the X in the car and whatever. I mean, there's just a lot of things that we might find something we get onto that we want to try on our own car, and if it works, then we pass it on to everybody else,
And that's one of the things I love about getting you guys on this show is there's so many aspects of racing and race cars that people don't realize, like flex and things like that. But so how often, say we're talking your B-Mod jig, how often does that jig get changed or doesn't not?
Oh, it does some. A lot of the all the pieces bolt onto our jig. So, I mean, other than where the main frame rail, well, even those pieces bolt on. So, I mean, if we want to make a change, it's
adjustable somewhat. Somebody is asking, Dustin, are you guys heading to Arizona? And the answer is yes.
I hope so. Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. Is what will you be racing there?
Modified.
Just A-Mod.
Yep.
Okay. Do they run late model on that show too?
Yep, they do. It's kind of dubbed a late model show, but they run modifieds and B-Mods with them also.
What do you have more fun racing, A-Mod or a late model?
I don't know. They both have their moments, I'd say. I mean, they both, like I say, I enjoy it both. Some nights one over the other or whatever, but I enjoy them both.
So when you're doing double duty, it happens occasionally. You drive the late model and the A-Mod. How hard is that?
That's pretty tough.
Yeah.
I mean, the cars drive, they drive kind of similar, but the late model is just so more hooked up than a modified. I mean, I feel like it's easier to drive the late model if it's slow and slippery for sure. The modified, you only have an 8-inch tire on the ground, takes a lot more finesse. But when it's like the old Grand Forks on a hammer down, big cushion deal, a late model, you got to be hanging on to the steering wheel.
Oh, I bet.
Right.
I bet.
What goes in when you go in and say you have heat back to back? I know they try to do that in front, but what goes through your mind to reset?
Yeah, just about happens every time to me. No matter
Yeah,
what.
because it happens.
Could be 3-4 heats, and we'll be in the back-to-back races. Every
Right.
time.
Yeah, you'll hear that announcer up there. Well, we're still waiting for Dustin Strand to get out here. He's, he's doing double duty, but
You get out of a modified, you got to be a little bit more finesse with and more. You got actually make sure to pay attention. You say the 8-inch wide tire in the back, and you go from that to a late model. So do you go, well, does the track give you anything you've learned in that modified to go towards a late model, or is it completely different?
I mean, you can kind of, you maybe find where the traction is or where a hole is here or there, but it'll give you a false reading. I've had times where you be out with the modified and feels like you need to be more hooked up, so we'll tighten the late model up and get out there, and it dang near rips your neck off.
you ever have the problem where if you're running both cars and you only have a matter of seconds to go from one car to the other, so your guys at the hauler, do they have the other car warmed up, ready to go? All you've got to do is get the belts off, climb out, climb in, and go? Is that a regular occurrence?
Yeah, we're usually ready to go, and then but then all of a sudden we'll think we got to make a last-minute change, so they're yelling at me to get on the track. I'm getting belted in. He's underneath moving something around.
Or if I see him going like this at the last lap, that means get working on the other car.
Sometimes we'll have a signal. I'll tell them,
Yeah.
if I stick my arm out the window, let's change that. So, and then.
But Dustin, you kind of have a habit of sticking your arm out the window.
Well, it's not a different spot though.
Yeah, you got to know the difference.
Yeah, you gotta. There's different signals. I mean, come on.
How many times have you been told by a flagman, keep your damn hand in the window?
There was only one racetrack that was on me for that.
Yep. And I think we know who that racetrack might be.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I could sit and talk with you guys forever. and going back to your time, Brian, I wasn't quite into it like I am now, but to hear the stories, of the Hall of Famers and stuff, you got any of those really funny after the racetrack stopping at the local watering hole story? Because I've heard everything from guys getting shoved into garbage cans to
Fish bowls.
The fish bowl story. You ever have one of those celebratory nights where maybe you got a little out of hand?
My first years of racing, of course, Tommy, he was like somebody you'd see in the movies. I cleaned out his garage more than once with old body parts and whatever. He'd tell me, I got this or whatever. And he helped me out a lot at start. But there's a lot of things we probably can't talk about right now.
And
those are the best stories too.
Yeah. And I actually learned when Tom was on the show last week. I started, and I didn't really have the time to this morning, but I usually try to reach out to some of the older Hall of Famers I know and say, hey, give me the dirt. Give me something good on this guy. And I forgot to do that this morning because it's always funny when all of a sudden you just go, hey, out of the blues, what about that guy in a garbage can at the bun, or something? And then they look and they go, oh, boy, here we go. You sticking around most of the winter? Is that what you normally do?
Normally, yeah. Well, I had big ideas to rent a house in Arizona, so I'm going to be there for some of the winter. And
okay.
I'll probably be back and forth if we get bombarded.
Yeah, and that's okay with you? Dad taking off for the winter? I mean, he probably deserves it, huh?
It's going to have to be.
Yeah. Like racing, you got to get ready.
His schedule. He's going.
Yeah. He'll be back some. I just know it. He won't be able to sit around and do nothing for too long.
Yeah. Is that kind of the way you're wired? Just hard to sit around and maybe watch TV or the birds or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, my evenings are pretty consumed with TV and sleeping.
But,
Same with me, but during the day.
Oh, yeah. They can't sit around. Yeah.
Like racing, there's a lot of things to prepare for in the winter, but farming, same way. There's a lot of fixing to do, a lot of things to do. Are you ready for spring?
Yeah, that's my problem. I can't get going on nothing until the weather changes. I don't have a big shop out there, so it all happens at once. When it's nice enough to work on machinery, I should almost be in the field, but...
Yeah. I don't know my way around North Dakota that much. I've been working here for 25, 30 years.
You're going to try to go to Brockett?
I'd want to know where the hell Brockett is.
If you blink, you'll miss it.
Yeah, well, I get that, but where is Brockett?
Well, if you go to Lakota on Highway 2, go north 10 miles.
On Highway 1.
On Highway 1, yeah. And then we're a couple miles east of there. And
so you're like in the tundra in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah. The wind blows once in a while out there.
Yeah.
Just once in a while?
Yeah.
It's one of those places that's so flat, if you look west, you can see the back of your head.
That tree can only stop so much.
What's the population of Brockett?
Well, when we lived there, it was like 75, but, man, I couldn't tell you. I'd be guessing at 40 probably.
Is there even a watering hole in Brockett?
Not anymore.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, there used to be 2 of them, and they were fairly busy.
Yeah? I couldn't live there. I couldn't live there.
It's like my wife, she can we've moved quite a bit through North Dakota, and she classifies a town that has either a Walmart, Target, and then we could live there.
Yeah.
So if it's a Brockett, I probably don't know. That'd be a no-go for this family.
You got you're heading out west. Good luck.
I'm excited for that,
I think
bud.
you're going to have a good time, and it's. I'd love to be able to go out to one of these races one time.
Right.
I think it'd be so much fun. I just rely on social media, in which you do a good job of, or maybe your wife does. But we always know how you're doing, and I'm looking forward to hearing some good stuff when you go out there. And I do want both of you guys back on, hopefully when the season starts, and we're going to definitely talk with you more too. But you guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. Anytime I can sit down and pick a Hall of Famer's brain, it's a lot of fun. And the thing is I've always known who you were, Brian, but never really got to know you until I think it was the first one that I got invited to at your race shop. And that's when I really got to sit down and have a couple of cold ones with you and kind of pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
It's always fun talking to you, especially when we get both of the Strand boys in here together. Thank you guys for coming in.
Pretty awesome group of guys, dude. Go kick some tail, man.
Yeah, we're gonna try.
Go give her hell.
All right, there you go. Brian Strand, Dustin Strand, Chad Hoff. all on a dirty Thursday. Man, wish I could get out to Arizona. Well, special thanks going out to Duso Photography. Check out the Duso Photography Wall of Fame here in the studios of GFBS. He does some great work. He's working on Christmas cards now. In fact, if you go to his website, dusophoto.com, you can find out how you can get rolling on these Christmas cards and possibly do a lot of the stuff yourself. He'll do the tweaking and the finished product for you, and you are definitely going to be happy. Also, might be still doing those senior pictures, but you probably should get rolling on that. Family portraits, business headshots, corporate pics. He does them all. If you want to look the best, Duso Photography can do that. Those metal pics they do at Duso, they are incredible. 218-230-4325 is his phone number, or go to dusophoto.com. And like Paul, the producer, knows, he'll even come to your house and take those pictures for you if that's what you want, all right? Hey, tomorrow we start talking about high school hockey. The first of the 3 local high school coaches joins us as we talk to new Grand Forks Red River hockey coach Tim Scarperud. Hey, don't forget, we're now on Amazon Music. You tell your smart speaker to play GFBS Podcast, and we're looking for your 5-star reviews on Google, too. And now we are on Pandora. How about that? Hey, make sure you like, share, and tag us. We're Grand Forks' best source, giving Grand Forks an identity again.